Well, it is gorgeous here in Denver, Colorado. A little overcast, but temperatures are perfect as the Rockies come into this one 50-38, 8.5 games in back of the Dodgers, who came back from 3 runs down in the 9th inning to win a big ball game against Arizona last night. And our Sox come in at 37-47, 8 games back, but 10 under 500. So the Rockies take the field, and let's take a look at how Ricky Renteria is going to line up our Sox for the game tonight. Ellen Hansen leading it off with Melky Cabrera in the 2 spot, then Jose Abreu, who is on a 7-game hitting streak where he's hit the ball very well. Todd Frazier, Yomer Sanchez, Omar Narvaez with Adam Engel in center field. Tim Anderson at shortstop, and Derek Holland getting a chance to hit tonight and hitting 9. The defense, and now Bud Black is going to line him up behind German Marquez. Nolan Arenado, 4 Gold Gloves at third base. Trevor Story, a very good defensive shortstop, with DJ LeMahieu, also a Gold Glove winner at second, and Mark Reynolds at first. In the outfield, it's Parra, Blackman, and Tapia left to right. Ryan Hannigan was a late scratch, and we've got Walters behind the plate. He's a young catcher, part-time middle infielder. And there you look, our Lexus Experience Amazing starting pitcher is German Marquez. On for the 14th time. He's 5-4, his ERA 4.41. He's got a very good fastball, has some problems getting the other stuff over the plate. We'll see if the Sox can lay off some of those breaking balls and just sit on the fastball. Umpires for the game tonight. DJ Rayburn has the plate. Sam Holbrook is at first, Greg Gibson at second, and Jim Wolf is at third. So they've thrown the ball around the infield, which means they're ready for baseball here at a game time of 6:40, a little unusual. But nonetheless, our Sox, and especially the guys on offense, looking for a big night tonight. So we're ready to play baseball. I'm ready to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson.
All right, Stoney, thank you. And once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball right here on CSN Chicago. First of this 3-game set. So happy you could join us. And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours. Hansen takes first pitch strike. Allen comes in at 282. A homer, he's driven in 3. Sox hitting at 261 as a club. And one of the interesting stats in this ballpark, Rockies have 98 home runs. We have 97.
It's kind of surprising. They got a few guys. Surprising. Yeah, got a few guys that probably should have more that don't. Arenado normally would have a few more than he's got right now. He's got 15 of them.
Well, I would imagine here's some managers over here in the National League and around baseball are getting a little wise.
Well, they're certainly working hard on him, but they've got some other guys all the way around. You know, Carlos Gonzalez this year has not had near the kind of year he should have.
Yeah, there was an article in the paper about him today that, well, he is really down in the dumps.
He's not playing tonight, and this is a guy that at the top of his game, he's just about as good as anybody around on both sides, both the offense and the defense. But this is his walk year. He's going to be a free agent.
The ball hit sharply, but 1 out.
There's a few folks believe that perhaps Carlos Gonzalez is putting a little more pressure on himself than need be, because a lot of guys react to that free agent year differently. Some guys have just wonderful years. Other guys, pressure gets to them. In fact, and I think the Rockies probably tried to tie him up, but you know, sometimes representation, i.e. Scott Boras, gets it to the point where maybe he's holding out for gigantic dollars. And you know, the Rockies got to sign Arenado. That's probably their #1 concern right
now. It should be. Yes, here's Cabrera. Everything is self-induced. The pressure you put on yourself or the pressure you take off yourself. Cabrera 291, 10 homers, 51 driven in. And that's out number 2. So right now let's check out our picks to click. There you see fans went with Anderson. Crew's going with Adam Engel. Steve's going with Cabrera. George Jacobs and I. One of the great Sox fans anywhere. We're going to go with Yalmer Sanchez along with Fred Canatero and his crew.
That was a substantial crew.
Jimmy Olsen's brother seems to have a lot more level-headedness than his brother.
There's no doubt.
Abreu. 293, 16 long ones, 58 driven in.
Marquez is getting it up there 98, 99 miles an hour.
That's not fast enough. As you brought up the key point, they don't care if he throws 98, 99
Nope.
if you can't get the other stuff over.
And it takes a while. I mean, obviously Melky saw 99 was a bit overmatched. Jose wasn't. And he just takes this one down the line. Reynolds can't get to it. And it's a two-base hit for the big man.
So here's Todd. 16 homers, 44 driven in. Outfield shading him slightly to the right. Bit of a gap out there in left center. And here at Coors Field, 350 down the right field line, 347 down the left field line, 390 in left center, 415 dead away center, and 375 in right center. But all those distances play very short. Yanks that one foul.
This is the 5th series between the White Sox and the Rockies. The ironic part is that 4 of them have been here at Coors Field. And our Sox, 6 wins, 3 losses here at Coors Field.
Yeah, we swept them out here one year.
7-5 overall. Ricky with a day off to recharge the batteries and get his boys ready to go.
Well, managers are no different than players in many respects. He did not go. And they're going to get him at third. So that'll retire the side. And after half inning play, it's our guys nothing and their guys coming to bat.
The game tonight, Charlie Blackmon, who's killed them here in Denver. You see those numbers, they're startling. Then DJ LeMahieu, Nolan Arenado, Mark Reynolds, you might remember him from Baltimore and a few other clubs. Gerardo Parra, Trevor Story, Raimel Tapia with Tony Walters and German Marquez rounding it out. The defense and how they're going to line up behind Derek Holland. It's Melky, Adam, and Allen in the outfield with Frazier, Anderson, Sanchez, and Abreu in the infield. Omar Narvaez gets a nod behind the plate. And our Lexus Experience Amazing starting pitcher is Derek Holland. Had a tough time out last time against Texas. Trying to rebound. Record 5-8, ERA 4.5. There you look at the rest of the numbers. And he's got an offense that over the last 16 games, they've averaged a little above 3 runs a game. So suddenly this offense has gone cold. They're good enough. They got LeMahieu back. He's had a groin problem.
So Derek's first career start here at Coors Field. But I was just getting ready to say when the last out was made that managers are no different in many respects as players. And with some of the baseball that Rick Renteria has seen played lately, he needed a day off.
It can exhaust you.
I don't believe it.
With nothing else but whacking your forehead and one of those, how did he do that kind of things.
Blackman, just a good hitter. There's a strike. All-Star back in 2014. An All-Star 2017.
This year he has decided to modify his stroke a touch and swinging more for power these days, and it certainly worked out. 18 and 59 on the power numbers.
As there is the dreaded leadoff walk.
Well, it's particularly costly in this park because guys are going to hit home runs here. They're going to get extra base hits here. That's just the nature of the park, always has been. So you have to limit your walks. If you don't, those solo home runs become 2- and 3-run homers, and eventually the Rockies just bury you.
Well, that's, to me, that's number 2. Number 1 is you got to catch the ball. You cannot give the Rockies 28, 29, 30 outs in this park here.
Well, especially because they're not going to give them to you. They got a really strong offense, especially the left side's as good as there is maybe in baseball.
Yep.
And LeMahieu's a Gold Glove at second. So I mean, the surprising thing about Mark Reynolds this year is not the fact that he's hitting in the 280s and hitting the ball out the park. He always hit the ball out the park. The average is higher, but he's played a magnificent first base. That gives him a strong infield all the way around.
LeMahieu at 306, 3 homers, 39 driven in. And that's Souvenir right side.
With DJ LeMahieu, even with a left-hander on the mound, normally a right-hand hitter with a left-hander, early in the count he's going to go the other way. And then later on, if he gets a breaking ball, he'll try to pull it. But LeMahieu is a straight right center field hitter. He's a good hitter. Not a whole lot of power, but he will take the ball to right center. With that in mind, Engel is way over in right center. Huge gap in left center. DJ just coming back now. It makes it a much better defensive club when he's in it. He's coming back from a groin issue, so not going to be quite as aggressive, but he is just about as good as it gets defensively at second base when he's entirely healthy.
And that gets through on this quick infield. So the leadoff walks got him in trouble right off the bat.
He did take a breaking ball and take it right by Todd Frazier. And you know,
well, I was just going to ask you, when you were pitching, did you know where your outfielders were?
Yes.
Yes, you did.
Absolutely.
Did you know where your infielders were?
Absolutely.
Damn right you did.
I had this conversation with Mark Belanger, who was a great shortstop at Baltimore all the time. He loved to play up the middle because his arm, when I got there, wasn't quite as strong. He didn't want to play in the hole. And I said, wait a second, Mark. Everybody pulls the ball because I throw inside a lot. I throw a lot of slow curve balls. They pull the ball. He says, yeah, okay. And then he went and played up the middle again. And I tried to explain to him that they don't beat me up the middle. They beat me in that hole. But yeah, so I knew exactly where they were.
Sure you did. As did Jim Palmer.
Well, I couldn't position him, but he had the 3 size, so he positioned him.
Well, it worked for him because he won 20 games 8 times and 3 Cy Young awards.
He was just a magnificent pitcher.
One of the greatest that ever lived.
Yeah.
And that was coming off a bad arm at a young age. And there's the base hit. So that leadoff walk, which scores about 37% of the time, is going to score and it's quickly 1-0.
RBI number 64 for their perennial all-star, Nolan Arenado. It's a rolling breaking ball. That's what a lot of pitchers will tell you here is if you don't get a whole lot of spin on the ball, the breaking ball that you can throw at sea level is going to be a lot different than the one you can throw mile high.
So here's Reynolds at 285, 19 long ones, 61 driven in. Man has always had tremendous pop.
He did just the opposite of what hitters are trying to do, Hawk. Everybody's looking for that uppercut swing because of launch angle. He did just the opposite. He wanted to hit more for average, and he flattened out his stroke. He's strong enough, and in this park, his line drives go out of the park anyway. But he's become a much better hitter these last couple of years by having a stroke that wasn't an uppercut swing.
Well, he definitely had an uppercut swing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he did.
For a long time.
That's why he hit in the 210 and struck out 220 times.
So here comes Coop.
He doesn't want this one to get away from Derek Holland, who started out a little shaky.
Well, those leadoff walks will usually
they come back to bite you,
especially in ballparks like this. You know, this is very similar, as you mentioned, to spring training in Arizona as far as the breaking ball goes. In all the years we've been out in Arizona, I've only seen one Sox pitcher who had a curveball that still had its snap, crackle, and pop.
and that was
John Garland. And then later on he became a sinker baller.
Must have been a really good curveball at first.
He had a great curveball out in Arizona.
Yeah, that's hard to do.
Yeah, it is.
And also, well, you mentioned here, same thing as Arizona. You got a rock hard infield that's lightning fast. So you think about exit velocity, but here it really works on ground balls. If it's not hit right at the defender more times than not, if your name's not Arenado, you don't get to it. And you can bet that Mark Reynolds has the 3-0 green light.
So that'll load him up. One in, Sox packed, the Rockies. Nobody out. Here's a guy who hadn't played that much against us, but when he has, he is really dangerous at the plate.
He's a very good player. He's got a terrific arm. He's been injured. He's just come back, and they've activated him. He's ready to go. They really have to have him give them exactly what he's capable of in the outfield, because they have a lot of outfielders. He's one of the better ones.
First pitch strike.
Started his career with the Arizona Diamondbacks. He had some very good years with them, hitting upwards of 290. Then he hit 328 for Milwaukee.
Yanks that one foul. So Derek on top, 0-2.
As far as a line drive hitter, as you look at the bases full of Rockies, it's early in the game and nobody out.
Engel playing him shallow in center. Big gap in right center. Oh, wow. 2-0.
You can't field your position. It's going to eventually do you in. When you release the ball, you're the fifth infielder. And that one wasn't hit hard at all. Unfortunately, it caromed off the leg of Derek Holland and most likely go as a base hit. It would have been a pretty nice 1-2-3 double play if he fields it cleanly, but he doesn't.
So the beat goes on, and here is Trevor Story. Well, last year created quite a stir. This year, 11 homers, 33 knocked in.
He's got some big power to right field. And for Story, batting average is down, the numbers are down, but he hasn't let it affect his fielding, and that part of it's really good.
Close pitch, didn't get it. Just 24 years old. Big rip.
Derek does something you have to do in this ballpark, and he's always done that. That is, if you're a left-hand pitcher, you've got to throw inside to the right-handers. That's really where he's much more comfortable. You can get it in under that hands. You're looking for that ground ball to the left side.
And it's getting to be more and more prevalent than it was 20, 30, 40 years ago. It used to be in big parks. You just play them away and pitch them away. You do that now, you can put it on the board.
Yeah, that's not a real good attack plan to a smart hitting and a good offense.
Well, the old saying is, the shorter the porch, the more you got to pitch inside.
That's always a key at Fenway. You don't
That's
throw
the only
inside.
guys that really hurt us. The guys who pitched inside.
Yep.
Guys who stayed away, we beat them to death. There was a good pitch, didn't get it.
Could have gone either way, just probably a little bit off the plate.
27 homers last year in just 97 games. And there's a base hit. And it's 4-0.
.30, 35 driven in for Story. He just eases it over the head of Yolmer. And the beat goes on.
So here is Tapia. 315, a couple of homers, 7 knocked in.
He's got a little more power, but he's very similar to a player that played with our Sox, Juan Pierre.
Well, there's another double play ball. It was not turned.
That's a mistake, because that's turnaround second to first. It would have turned too easily. And instead, you get just the one out at third, because Todd Frazier is not expecting that ball, so he was off the bag.
Well, in essence, what we're doing is we're giving him 6 outs this inning.
Yep. And you see, Todd wasn't expecting it. That's a tailor-made second to first double play, but didn't work out that way.
There's Walters, the catcher, at 280, no homers, 14 driven in. Takes ball 1.
He was a second baseman, and they've played him in the major leagues at shortstop. But they made him a catcher. It's worked out pretty well. You can see by those numbers, hitting 280. But as a very young catcher, he's got a young staff to handle, and that's not easy. That's why Hannigan normally plays, but he came out with some problems and was scratched just before the game.
The 259 last season. And he will soon be 25. Big gap in right center. Nice crowd on hand. They're averaging almost 37,000 a game. Two and two.
Did you ever hit in a ballpark or in a city that had elevation where guys just didn't have good breaking balls and you could sit?
I played here in Denver in Coast League. Old Mile High Stadium.
Well, that was, yeah, that was.
I won't tell you what.
you should have paid to hit there.
It was unreal.
Yeah.
You know, you hear so much about it. You hear so much about it. All of a sudden, you come in and you play your first game here at this elevation. All right, can we turn this one? Yeah, we can, but we gave them 6 outs and they scored 4 runs and they lead it 4-0.
Presented by State Farm, and we'd like to welcome all of our viewers watching on Muscatine Power and Water in Muscatine, Iowa.
Tough start. We trail it 4-0. So it's like giving them an extra inning of hitting.
The one thing in this ballpark that everybody knows who has played here, no lead is safe. Although this year that bullpen started out red hot for these Rockies and was very hot for a couple of months. Now they've started to wear down just a bit, but not Holland, not the closer, Greg Holland, who auditioned for a lot of teams because nobody knew if he was healthy. Rockies signed him, and well, what a first half he's had.
Oh, what a pitcher he's been. It's good to see a guy resurrect his career after completely losing his fastball.
Yeah, he did.
And for the most part having a dead arm for a while. And come back and now 28 saves with a that ball into left center field. So Todd starts it off very nicely. As we said in the opening, he's starting to get it cranked up.
14th double of the year. He's been a doubles machine on this abbreviated road trip to this point. Marquez is very young. He's got a very good arm, but that's not going to get it done. He's got to get the off-speed pitches over, pick out whatever you like, but get something over other than the fastball, or These major league hitters will make him pay the price.
All right, we got to play it like it's a 0-0 game. We got to get him over and get him in. Takes the bunt, takes a strike. Yolmer hitting at .268, 4 homers. He's driven in 23. It's high into center field. Todd tagging. Here he goes. Here's the throw, and he's there. So Yolmer gets the job done.
Charlie Blackmon headed to Miami for the All-Star game. What a player he's become. Rainbow of a throw and no chance to get Todd at third base.
So here's Omar Narvaez at .254, no homers. He's driven in 5. That's going to get the job done. That's all you want. With a man on third, less than 2 out, get him in, and it's a 4-1 ball game.
RBI number 6 with the infield back conceding the run, and Bud Black realizes there's going to be a lot more scored in this one, so there's no reason to play the infield in and perhaps open it for a big inning.
Here's Adam. .275, a couple of homers. He's driven in 5. And that's chop foul.
There's a look at the skipper, Bud Black. You may remember him from his days in San Diego. Rumored to be in line for that job at the Nationals. Didn't get it. Dusty Baker did. But when this job came available, they picked the right man. Players love him. Good manager, and has been for a long time.
And he also happens to be one of the nicest guys to ever play the game of baseball.
No question. Got a lot of people here that know something about pitching that's on that staff, but Bud Black also knows a lot about pitching.
That ball hit high into left field. Back in front of the track, makes a catch, but Todd Frazier's leadoff double comes around to score, and it's a 4-1 Rocky lead.
MasterCard debit card only available at your local Wintrust Community Bank. Go to wintrust.com/Sox to learn more. Wintrust Community Bank, member FDIC.
Here's Marquez, the pitcher, leading off in their half of the second inning. Rockies on top 4-1. First pitch strike.
Hasn't hit much, but he's driven in 4, which is certainly respectable.
Pretty good rip too. Angle playing a very shallow center field. Oh, 0-2 the count.
For the most part, if you're a normal hitting pitcher, you can occasionally make contact on a fastball, but you don't on a breaking ball. Let's see if he throws one. Didn't swing at it, but good spot for it at 0-2.
Who was that pitcher? John Gray hit that home run in center field.
467 feet. Pretty amazing. Longest home run hit by any Rocky this year.
That's fair ball. Yanks it right down, so that will be a leadoff double for the pitcher.
It's only his 3rd hit, his first extra base hit, and he hit it where Todd Frazier couldn't even get close. You don't expect him to pull it down the line, but on this fastball inside, and make no mistake, these Rockies are looking for the ball inside. And Marquez with his first career double.
So here's Blackmon. He walked, and that started that 4-run first.
Blackmon last year, 29 home runs, 82 driven in, and a .324 batting average. A lot of it out of the 1 spot. Bud Black has been occasionally, as this offense has really sputtered of late over the last couple of weeks. Bud Black has moved him down in the lineup, but he's been primarily their leadoff hitter, and that's the spot he feels pretty comfortable.
There's a strike.
He was doing something that I've never seen before. It was a couple days ago. He was actually out here practicing for the home run derby. He felt it was a good idea.
I love to watch it, and I know his fans absolutely adore it, but I just don't like seeing of our players in it.
No, I can't blame you, because of some guys, not everybody, but some guys, it really disrupts their stroke for a while.
Yeah, I take exception to the fact that I think that they should have the defending champion come back if in fact he wants to. And that, of course, is Todd Frazier. That's high and deep. Way back. So he's going to get the job done. And that's out number 1.
It's 4:15 to straightaway center field. What you have to be aware of, and you don't with Marquez running because he's a pitcher. But what you have to really be aware of is there are times when you got a speed burner tagging up where they're going to try to score from second base if you don't get the ball back in very quickly. This one stayed in the park, and Marquez, of course, you don't have to worry about him scoring on that as he pulls it up at third.
So halfway at second, then short. And LeMahieu, who singled and scored last inning.
He's at LSU, was a second-round pick for the Cubs, and then the Cubs traded him here. We finally got his opportunity to play, and he certainly has made the most of it.
Cues that one foul. very quickly. The count 0-2.
What is the scoring position? Those are pretty good numbers. 329. Not a home run hitter, but he's driven in 39, so it's been pretty productive, especially when you consider that he has been hurt for a bit.
May have cracked that bat. No, he pounds it on the plate, says it's okay. That's going to get the job done and more.
Oh-2 pitch went out of the ballpark, and
6-1.
RBIs number 40 and 41 for DJ LeMahieu, just his 4th home run of the year. But he reached down, got that breaking ball down, and took it out of the yard. A Ford home run replay. This one's almost on the ground. I'm pretty sure that Derek Holland can't believe it went out of the ballpark, but it did that.
Hitter's paradise. So here's Arenado. Single, RBI, and a run scored last inning. They got a shift on for him as he takes first pitch strike. '27-year-old.
27-year-old magician.
Well, just his. And there's the bullet right at him. That's the hang wolf on for enough. Just the things that when you talk to people about him. I was talking with Bud Light before the game about him. And then I've talked to a lot of scouts about him because we don't have the opportunity to see him. I mean, you see him on highlights, and everybody looks good on highlight films. But I mean, what the expletives that they pour out about Arenado are just, you don't hear that very often.
Well, few of the people I've always talked to about him say you're going to watch him on a lot of highlight films. When you see him in person, he's actually better than that. So,
well, in essence, that's what Black was saying.
Yeah, I mean, he's just a phenomenon and makes a highlight reel play just about each and every game.
Yeah, Bud said that he's probably going to make plays. He said Hawkeye will probably make a play tonight that you just won't believe.
Very friendly guy.
Well, that's another thing about it. You know, it's. He said it's his faith and his family that come first, not baseball.
And he's going to be, because they're going to get rid of Carlos Gonzalez. And Arenado is going to be, if he's not already, the face of the franchise. So that's one of the reasons why it would behoove them, and you know they're obviously thinking about it, to tie him up long term, because it doesn't get any better at third base. He's young. He's terrific on both sides of the ball. So as they say, what's not to like?
Good rip by Reynolds, who walked and scored. In essence, the base on ball is what, if you're just tuning in, would put Derek in a big jam. Leadoff walk to Blackman. They score 37% of the time. Then he walked Reynolds, the 4th place hitter, and he scored.
The added bonus by bringing Mark Reynolds over and giving him the opportunity to resurrect his career. You know, you got a guy who's 237 lifetime hitter hitting 285, but they're astounded at the defense at first. He's been wonderful.
Well, that happens quite often in this beautiful game of ours. that you do some things. You do some things that are good, but not anywhere near reaching your upside or your potential. And then all of a sudden you get with the right club as he gone. It's a 2-run homer by LeMahieu, and it is 6-1 Bad Guys.
Time later in the game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
We got a lot of work to do if you're just tuning in. We trail at 6-1.
And a wonderful park to do it in.
There's no doubt about it. There's no question. That is up and in to Anderson. Hitting at .239, 7 homers, 25 driven in. Yeah, you can score 6 or 7 in a hurry in this ballpark.
That's the entertaining part about a game here is neither team is ever really out of it.
Well, that's the old saying. Offense puts fannies in seats, but defense wins championships.
It does that.
Oh, hit hard. He was working on that in batting practice. The Sox fans, join us as our Sox take on the Mariners on Saturday, July 15th at 6:10, and the first 20,000 fans will receive a White Sox cap presented by the Private Bank. So get your tickets today by visiting whitesox.com or calling 866-SOX-GAME.
We were talking with Don Baylor. He was the skipper here when he had that group of Bombers, the Blake Street Bombers, that just tore it up. And he said the toughest thing for him was leaving a pitcher in and watching him get hit and scored on a lot, because he said if you don't, you're going to lose that bullpen by the end of May. He said that was difficult for a manager, knowing you have to give your starter some rope.
Well, this is a park that obviously the manager has to know when to eat a game.
Well, that's, and you talk about that all the time, and this is probably the prototypical park for that.
Yeah, it certainly might be the poster child, because of the fact that nobody talks about it because it doesn't sound good. There's the base hit.
Well, you get a hit against me and I'll get one against you, says Derek Holland as he takes that ball the other way.
Derek was swinging the bat well in batting practice.
And he takes it to the left side.
Watch him. He points over to the dugout.
Yeah, he's psyched up.
He told him he was going to get a hit.
He said, if I can do it, you guys I know can do it. That's his second career hit.
So here's Hansen. Boy, he hit a Line drive right to the second baseman, leading off the ball game as there's a breaking ball strike. Yeah, that has become an integral part of managing the day. With the bullpen situation the way it is. Uh-oh. That didn't take long, and we still trail at 6-1. Take 2, excuse me.
Look at this. Let's take a look at StatCast powered by AWS. 104.9 miles per hour exit velocity, 467 feet. Longest by a pitcher since, well, way back. And John Gray, who was recently activated, crushed that ball. By the time it came down, it was way out of here. Over the exit in center field. What a blast. Oh, by the way, he can pitch a little bit also.
So here's Parra, followed by Story and Tapia. If you're just tuning in, they scored 4 in the first. We scored 1 in the second. They scored 2 in the second. So it's a 6-1 ball game. Parra had an infield single and an RBI in the first inning on what should have been a double play, but it wasn't. And if you're just joining us, we gave them 6 outs in that first inning.
Do that in this park? I mean, you do it any time, but in this park it's really costly.
But on the other side of that page, this is a park you can recoup.
Yeah, you can.
Ate him up. Anderson. And a reminder, Friday, July 14th, that's 90s night as our Sox take on the Seattle Mariners at 7:10. And you can join us as we play your favorite throwback jams throughout the game. And be sure to stay tuned for a post-game fireworks show presented by the Village of Bedford Park. So visit WhiteSox.com to get your tickets today.
Spring training, I was talking with one of their part owners, and he told me about the ball club. He said, we're going to have a very nice offense. We had guys up and down who can hit. He goes, and we've got some surprising young pitchers, and it's going to be how quickly they develop, which will tell the story of this year. And I don't think they expect it to be buyers, but I think they're going to be as we move closer, because they've got the Diamondbacks, they have the Dodgers. They believe that this could be the year for postseason play.
Well, I've been around this game long enough to know one thing, especially playing with the Red Sox. it all boils down to scouting, and it all boils down to what these young pitchers have inside them. Because of the fact you can develop them all you want to at the minor league level, but until they get in this ballpark and have to pitch in this ballpark and see what the results can be on a fly ball, you know what that'll do.
Well, there's no doubt. Look, it not only wears you down physically because you're trying to get a little extra on sliders and curveballs and all those things that you have to do here, but it really wears you down mentally.
That's where it gets you. They get scared to death. Here you go. 2 down.
Good high fastball.
You got to wait and see what they can do up here in this park. Just like the Red Sox young pitchers have to. Been a lot of outstanding prospects probably in this organization. Certainly in the Red Sox organization I'm familiar with. Had no chance when they pitched at Fenway Park. And then you want to take it to a veteran type situation. Tom Seaver when he was with us. I wanted to see what because he had never seen Fenway Park. I wanted to see what his reaction was when he came out of that clubhouse, walked down that runway, and walked up the dugout stairs. And I was standing right there.
I'm thinking he felt okay with it.
He looked at that thing, put his hat back on his head like this, Stoney, and he said, "Yeah." He said, "I can use that to my advantage."
Good, because you have everybody trying to pull him, and he had such great control. Probably didn't allow him to do it.
I was talking to some of our pitchers the other day also about his philosophy on the plane, about how his philosophy was when he had an umpire behind the plate. Because not everybody loved Tom Seaver. And yet, a lot of people don't know he's one of the greatest pitchers that ever lived.
Well, just take a look at the numbers.
But his philosophy was when he had an umpire that was squeezing him behind the plate, he would back off the mound and he would say to himself, as that's into right field, it's going to be off the bottom of the wall. So Tapia with a double.
6th double of the season, second tonight. Derek Holland trying to get a 1-2-3 inning, gets a fastball, and Tapia drills it. He's probably been overall as consistent a player as they've had on this team. Not the best player, but he's been very consistent all year long.
So here's Walters hit into a 4-6-3 double play. But Seaver would back off that mound and look in and say to himself, "I'm not going to let that guy beat me." Turned everything into a positive.
Well,
rather than getting that tight behind.
Certainly helped that he had pinpoint control his whole life. Even when the velocity decreased substantially, he still had great control.
Tell you one thing, that '68 All-Star game, he was throwing 100, maybe 100 plus. A great pitcher. As there's a breaking ball strike.
Their general manager in his 3rd year is Jeff Bridich, and he's done just a terrific job. In fact, it was under him and the rest of his staff that they started to develop and keep their young players. And that's one thing that, because it's so difficult to get free agent pitchers to come here, as you would expect, you've got to develop your own. And for many years, they didn't develop near as many as they could have or should have. Now they're doing it, and they've got some very good arms up and down that rotation. The bullpen would like to pick it up a bit. They've slacked lately.
There's a high strike called. Well, for years they went the huge contract signing of free agent pitchers. And that didn't work out too well for them.
Yeah, Nagel was one of them. Denny Nagel.
Didn't work out too well.
Danny O'Dowd, the GM for many years here, he would use different plans. He had some pretty good ideas about how to build a baseball team, and he would use different plans. And sometimes it was stack that rotation. Other times it was We're not that worried about the rotation, but let's really get quality relievers. Sometimes it was bangers, sometimes it was speed, but whatever it was, he didn't quite get there, although he had some good teams.
That one finish they put on there years back was unbelievable.
When they played the Diamondbacks, to see who went to the World Series, 21 of 22 they won.
Yeah, that was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yolmer, nice little pickup on a bit of a tough hop right there. And that'll retire the side. It is still 6-1.
The T-Mobile Home Run Derby Bracket Challenge. With a little luck, you and 3 friends may be going to 2017 World Series thanks to T-Mobile. Make your picks at MLB.com/bracket challenge. Eric Holland talking it over with a few of the guys, probably describing in detail his hit to left field.
I think he was more or less either that or LeMahieu.
No, I think he was shocked. He was shocked that the LeMahieu taking the ball off the ground and hitting it 430 feet.
All right, here is Cabrera. Struck out his first trip. You know, getting back to trying to build a bullpen. The first thing you got to do trying to build a bullpen is you better get yourself 2 very versatile players. 2 very versatile, so you can carry 2 extra guys in that bullpen.
Oh, that's the best way to do it, but it ties your manager's hands.
Well, you got to do it. You got to find, you know, you got guys that Leary, who can play everywhere, second, short, center.
And Yolmer
can play everywhere. As there is a base hit.
Story was able to get the glove on it, but that's all he could do. As Melky takes it right back through the middle. Now we'll see if this trip through the lineup is a little bit more successful, as they've seen Marquez once. Jose didn't mind he was seeing him for the first time.
No, he just shot that double down the right field corner. But the versatile player has never been more valuable than he is in today's marketplace.
If you're going to go with 13 pitchers, meaning 8 moves out of your bullpen, then you got 3 moves off the bench, and those guys better play a lot of different positions. Or especially in the National League, you got a big problem.
That's exactly right. You got to have at least 2 guys who can do that.
And with Leury, the big bonus is not only can he play just about every position in the infield, and you can stick him in any position in the outfield.
And he's just coming into his own. Took that pitch nicely. Watched it all the way.
There is no doubt what the Rockies could use. They could use a quality, I mean, top of the rotation starting pitcher. There are very few teams that can't use that, but the Rockies certainly, if they're going to get to the playoffs, that's what they need. Oh no, he was safe at first base. It looked like by plenty too.
Yeah. It looked like he had that one beat.
They're going to take a look at it, and it was Sam Holbrook on the call. Arenado makes a good solid throw to LeMahieu. He gets an easy ball to handle, and then they're going to take a look at it, and we'll see if the foot got there before the glove had the ball nestled in it. Slow it down.
He's safe.
He looks safe to me. He looks safe in real time.
Yeah. If you just joined us, they scored 4 in the first, 2 in the second. And we scored 1 in the second. Leadoff double by Frazier. Yolmer got him over with a deep fly ball to center, and then Narvaez with the infield playing back got him in.
So he was indeed safe at first base.
And here is Todd. A double in the left center field. Took that pitch nicely. Todd's one of those guys you got to watch how he takes pitches. You can get a good line on how he feels the way he takes the pitch.
Marquez better work out well because he cost them Corey Dickerson. Tampa Bay's loving that. Marquez signed with Tampa as a non-drafted free agent back in 2011. Then came to Colorado along with Jake McGee in exchange for Corey Dickerson and Kevin Padlo. Dickerson having a wonderful year.
He's got a chance to be just a minute. Absolute stud. Three and one. Outfield straight up, spread out, about equidistant. And that's a high souvenir going to somebody.
Well, they did give the pitchers something here, and that is a higher fence in right center field, which shields the bullpen, but also keeps a lot of balls in the park that at other times would have gone out. Especially, there was a lot of doubles hit there, one-hop doubles out of the park.
Foul tipped, hung on to. So 2 down. Went
to the high fastball, and Todd got a piece. That is second Walter's glove.
So here's Yolmer. Went out to center field, but he got the job done, moving Frazier over to third. Arenado. We get the leadoff single, can't do anything with it, and it's still not good.
Sox Talk podcast presented by Wintrust. Our Chuck Garfien talks about the possible destinations for the White Sox trade targets. Plus, could the White Sox be big players in the 2019 free agent class that includes Clayton Kershaw, Manny Machado, and Bryce Harper? Subscribe to the podcast today.
Here's Marquez. He doubled a shot right down inside the line at third base. Takes first pitch strike. Quickly, 2 strikes. Takes some pretty good hacks up there. So that's out number 1. And the 2017 White Sox are presented by Guaranteed Rate. Thinking about buying a home? Well, visit rate.com to find a low mortgage rate and a fast and easy process.
Who was the best hitting pitcher you ever played with?
Well, a couple of them. Gary Peters.
Or played against.
Gary Peters was White Sox left-hander that could swing the bat. Jim Cott was a good hitter. Catfish Hunter made himself a real good hitter. Don Drysdale, probably Drysdale was the most dangerous.
He was used as a pinch hitter, wasn't he?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah, Drysdale was dangerous up there. The Catfish was, his first few years, he couldn't hit the ground. And boy, he wound up being, I remember him going 5 for 5 in a game, I think it was.
Yeah, I could do that if I started out 4 for 4.
No, I saw you hit.
No, I know. I was 0 for my first year. But I was hitting in tough luck.
Yeah, you were. They weren't giving you anything good.
It was 0 for 34. That was a dead ball era, though, Hawk. You know, yeah, it just didn't travel like it does now.
Seams were too big for you. No, Stottlemyre was pretty good. Who was the best one you played against?
That I played against? Well,
or played with?
Designated hitter came in 73. I started out in the National League and then got to the White Sox in 1973, and then Ron Blomberg was DH. That's 19 of them for Blackman.
And that's 7-1.
60 driven in. It looked like it might have hit the top of the wall on its way out. Ford home run replay. This is a slider that Blackman didn't miss.
He got a little hang time there and just poof, put it on the board. Here's LeMahieu. He's 2 for 2, a single and a 2-run homer.
I think Bob Gibson was one of the better hitters that
he had a home run against us in the World Series.
Yeah, he was a good one.
He was just a great athlete.
He was. Sensational basketball player.
Well, he was with the Harlem Globetrotters for a short time. That's jammed into left field. Melky comes on, makes the catch.
Oh, a nice slide after the catch. And Melky with a good pose. So second out. Well, Melky catches this, and you might as well take a slide. Why not? Let's stay there for a bit.
Here's Arenado. RBI single, run scored in the first, then he lined out hard to Cabrera in the second. Flips that one into right field. But the line drive home run by Charlie Blackman, and it is 7-1.
Insider all season long at csnchicago.com, presented by The Great Escape. Whether it's pools, patio furniture, hot tubs, or more, escape your everyday. Shop The Great Escape. And a lot of Sox fans in attendance here tonight.
And at the hotel.
Yep.
So here's Omar. Drove in our only run. Back in the second inning. It's 7-1. Game one of this 3-game set. And there's the base hit that of Omar.
Tries to throw a fastball by him, but Omar takes it right by LeMahieu. And as good as these guys are, and LeMahieu has had a groin issue, so he's not quite as quick as he normally is at second base. But if it's not hit at you, it's tough here. That ball just scoots and gets on by it.
Yeah, this is, I don't think it's quite as quick, but it's close to being quick as Texas.
Yeah, that's probably a little bit harder, a little bit quicker, much more sun on a daily basis, and just bakes it.
Yep. Here's Adam, went out deep to left field. And the count 0-2.
That was a good slider. Had him able to stay alive. Hit the ball well the first time.
Well, he's showing us that he's going to be a major league player.
He's got a lot of skills and plays just a wonderful center field.
Yeah, he's a major league player.
Not the easiest thing in the world as a very young player, and he is that. Getting his first shot. Not an easy thing to be an accomplished base stealer, but he's 4 out of 5 in stealing bases, and he'll get a much better technique as he moves along.
Well, that's the whole key.
Yep.
He certainly has the speed. One out.
As Marquez has moved along, that breaking ball has gotten better. He has both a curve and a slider. That time it was the off-speed curveball, and he had Adam well out in front of it. That's a good one.
It's one thing that young hitters have to learn. They can't cover 4 quadrants in the major leagues.
Nope. You can if you want to hit 180.
Well, that's giving him the benefit of the doubt.
You see no walks for Marquez, and that is the key in this park.
Anderson hit the ball hard. Can't get him. 2 down. Now you try to cover 4 quadrants against major league pitching, and you're going to go 0 for 4.
So Derek Holland is going to be taken down in favor of Matt Davidson. So Matt, who hit a home run in the final game in Oakland. That was his 18th. He gets a chance to pinch hit, and Derek Holland's night is over.
After throwing 88 pitches in 4 innings.
Matt Davidson 2 for 7 as a pinch hitter.
Now field slightly to the right, gap out there in left center. He just covered up the first one, so the count 0-2. That'll do it. We're halfway home, trailing big.
What a benefit.
What a great guy he is. You know, what an awesome, just a terrific. They don't come any better than our Chuck. You know, he's one of those kind.
Did he pay you for that?
Dozen golf balls.
There you go. Juan Minaya comes in the ball game on for the 12th time. He's 1-0 ERA, a touch over 5. And Derek Holland gone after 4, 7 runs.
Here's Mark Reynolds. Be followed by Power and Story. Mark out of Pikeville, Kentucky. Interesting place, Pikeville, Kentucky.
Never seen it. Kentucky's a beautiful state.
I'll tell you what, they got some of the greatest food you ever want to eat in Pikeville, Kentucky.
They do.
Oh, that golf course they got there. I'll tell you what, the greens. The greens are at least 1.5 inches, 2 inches high. With grass.
Doesn't sound real good for putting.
No. But they have wonderful people, and the food is just absolutely fantastic. A buddy of mine, a coal miner, as he can't get it, he took me up to a couple of his mines there, and they're about 4 feet high and about 8 or 9 feet wide, and they got these little trams that go up in there. And he wanted me to get on one of the trams and go up in there.
Oh, that's a good plan.
No, it was not a good plan. Lays off of it. He did not go. He go. So, 1 out, and come celebrate Christmas in July on Friday, July 28th, when our Sox take on the Cleveland Indians at 7:10. And be sure to stay for the post-game fireworks presented by Athletico Physical Therapy. Athletico Physical Therapy, that's better for everybody. So get your tickets today by visiting whitesox.com or calling 866-SOX-GAME.
So Hermie's coming out. They want to check with Juan and find out if he's okay. There's some good fastballs to Mark Reynolds. Buzzed him up and in, threw the ball by him, and then felt something.
We trail it here in the bottom of the 5th, 7-1.
So we'll take a look at the last pitch. High, tight fastball. And see the facial expression, doesn't seem all that comfortable with it. Missed his spot by 3 or 4 feet. It was effective. He struck him out, but Omar wanted it low and away as David Holmberg starts to loosen up.
Well, there's a man 30 years with us, one of the best in the business. He's one of those guys in that category you can time, but you can't beat him. Don Cooper.
A little frustrating this year. He's had a really good run, along with, of course, Alan Thomas and Herm Schneider and Brian Ball, keeping everybody healthy and ready to go to the post. But this year's been a little different for the boys.
That ball hit high and deep. It's off the wall. So Parra, as we mentioned, he always plays well against us. 2 for 3 with an RBI tonight.
Gets the daylights out of that one and almost takes it out of the park opposite field. Melky can't get to it. Long way to go. Plays the carom nicely. Adam Engel was in a very good position in case the ball got by Melky. He was right there. It's a 2-base hit anyway. That's a second hit for Parra.
Yeah, Engel's all over the place.
He is. Great speed and a good anticipation for the baseball.
Trevor Story, 2-run single in the first. He struck out in the third. Two 2-0.
He was headed to LSU, the place that his teammate DJ LeMahieu played at. And the Rockies, who drafted him with their first pick that year, 45th overall, offered him just under $1 million, and he signed.
He has a terrific swing.
Last year he started out like a house of fire before getting hurt. But they're particularly excited about the defense that he plays night in and night out.
Well, he's taking the place of a good one they had here for a long time.
Troy Tulowitzki, very good out of Long Beach State. Now with Toronto.
Yeah, this guy's going to do some damage. I tell you, LSU, they just keep pumping about. Great program.
Yeah, good one there. There's college programs are getting better and better.
Well, the only way they can do that is by getting better and better talent.
And
that's what they're getting.
Used to be that Southern Cal, ASU, those teams year after year, they would be dominant teams. And now you look all over the country. Teams out of South Carolina, Texas,
Florida State,
Florida State has been good for a
Mike
while.
Martin.
And Florida.
Yeah.
Florida won the World Series this year, and then you can go up to the Northwest. You can look at Oregon State. They probably had as good a pitching, maybe better than most anybody in college baseball. So there's a lot of talent.
Got him. There you go. 2 down. Well, one of the reasons being is our talent pool is growing only because of the fact our African American talent pool not growing as fast as it should. The Latin talent pool is growing more and more and more as they're out there on the mound. And one of the reasons being, in baseball, they come in all sizes and shapes. In basketball, it's gotten to the point now, unless it's the exception to the rule, if you're small, you know.
So David Holmberg comes in the game. Juan Minaya will depart, and so will we. We'll be back. The left-hander, David Holmberg, now back working out of the pen, on for the 20th time. See the ERA at 2.88. All things considered, he's had a pretty good year in the rotation, and now back in the pen.
So here's Tapia. Yeah, but getting back to the talent pools, it's basketball. The NBA amazes me how good those guys are, the size they are. Football is just, gotten to be almost ridiculous. Besides being huge, strong, you've got to be very, very fast.
This game, look, you get Dustin Pedroia on MVP. He's probably, he's listed at 5'8". We know that he's a little smaller than that. We've got Jose Altuve, who we'll see for a couple of different series later in the season. He's been magnificent, and he's no more than 5'5".
And there is a Kansas City special, and it's 8-1.
It's the 8th run batted in for Tapia, and his second hit of the night. Doesn't get a whole lot of it. He doesn't have to. It's actually a pretty good breaking ball. He catches it off the end of the bat, eases it over the head of Yolmer, and that run charged to Juan Minaya.
Here's Walters. 0 for 2 twice. He's gone out to Yolmer at second base.
Omar looking over in the dugout asking him if Tapia can run or will run. And the answer is yes, he will run. But he's very young and he doesn't run well. And base running speed this year, you got Billy Hamilton, who was just here with Cincinnati, Byron Buxton, Bradley Zimmer, and Raimel Tapia. He's right there with him, so he can go get him.
Not hit hard off the end of the bat. And that'll retire the side. We've completed 5 and we're in trouble.
Tim Raines opens up about his career in the major leagues. Inside Look, presented by Cadillac, premieres next Sunday after White Sox postgame live on CSN, or stream live at csnchicago.com/watch live. Inside Look and Tim Raines, wonderful player,
great guy,
yep.
Great player, and deserving to be in Cooperstown. Top of the order here in the top of the 6th. He's 0 for 2, first time up, hit the ball hard. What's this kid? He's got some talent.
They got a few of them in that rotation that all they need is experience. They've all got good arms. They all throw the ball very hard.
Well, in this ballpark, you better be able to change speeds.
Gray just came back in the rotation. Freeland has been there. He's 8 and 7 this year. Chatwood, pretty good pitcher. They got some good ones. Hoffman's got really good stuff, and we'll see him in this series.
Can't change speeds here, and you can't pitch inside here. You got a problem. I don't care what kind of stuff you got. And calling all Illini alumni, join us on Friday July 14th is our Sox take on the Mariners at 7:10, and you can purchase a specially priced ticket package for the opportunity to watch batting practice before gates open and to receive a White Sox Illini hat. So to purchase a specially priced ticket package, visit whitesox.com/Illini.
I think the slight delay was they might have taken a look at that, see about to play at first, but
looked like they got him.
It's play on. Yeah, they did.
Cabrera 1 for 2 had an infield single, also a strikeout. $38,386. As I mentioned earlier, they're averaging almost 37,000.
Well, they got themselves a pretty good team this year, and the fans really they like fun. Yeah, they like the ball club. Yeah. They've come out to watch them, and this team 24-17 here at Coors Field. There's the man that is directing the show, Bud Black.
They made a good choice.
Yeah, they certainly did, and they had a lot of people that they could have brought in, but they went for experience and a guy that players relate to very well.
Two down. And that'll bring up Abreu.
Marquez is starting to get that breaking ball over the plate, and over the last month he can only do that 50% of the time, and when you're getting the off-speed pitches over half the time, you're not in really good shape. Major league average for just the breaking pitches, 62.5% strikes. But tonight a different story, because as he's moved along he's gotten the feel for the breaking ball.
That's up high and the count 2-1.
Exactly where Walters wanted it. Marquez threw it right there, but Jose not interested and pitched just out of the zone up.
Yeah, I was talking with Corey Little. He was in their communications department. Had a long chat before the game about this ball club. He said it's remarkable what Bud Black's done, attitudinal wise.
Yep.
It's like Ricky Renteria with us. Look at this. There's a big hurt special right there. Little shank.
Well, you was talk about hitting with short arms. They couldn't get much shorter than that unless he was Billy Barty.
Well, that's a pretty good comparison, really.
If you watch what he does, he brings his hands right in against his body.
That's what made the Big Hurt a Hall of Famer. He could hit with short arms, and he could hit. Big Hurt learned how to do it. He could hit it 500 feet with short arms. Here is Todd. I went down to watch him hit a little bit, and that's what Abreu was working on. The longer that left arm goes towards the pitcher, the bigger the swing.
Those were the guys that aggravated me quite a bit, because if you can get it inside, 2 or 3 inches inside, you expect to get a guy out. And you would throw Bob Watson, and you remember Bob Watson certainly. You'd throw him 2 or 3 inches inside. He used that inside out swing. He just drifted over the head of the second baseman or first baseman in right field. He made a really good pitch, Meanwhile, he's standing at first, and those guys with the ability to do that were really tough to get out.
All right, that'll do it. We go to the bottom of the 6th. We got some work to do.
Report presented by Ozinga. Charlotte Knights 11-7 winners over the Durham Bulls, and Tyler Saladino with a home run, 3 driven in, and scored a couple of runs. Miguel Gonzalez on his rehab made it into the 5th. Not a great night, but he did use 72 pitches, and at the end of the day, that's what you're looking for. Get those pitches up.
That's what we were talking about earlier. You got to have at least 2 good guys who can play a lot of positions. And of course, we talked about Leary earlier, and Tyler.
Yeah, he came out, won the job in spring training, and unfortunately that back has been plaguing him.
Marquez. Tyler has not been with our club since May 26th. Played, I should say, since May 26th. What job?
So for a guy hitting 105 coming into this game, Marquez looks like somewhere along the line he's going to be able to swing it pretty well.
He got a good swing.
Yeah.
We talked about that first time he swung the bat. He's got a good swing.
Takes it right back up the middle.
Yeah, that double he ripped right down the left field line. Off an inside fastball.
Yeah, that was impressive. This one, he reaches out, takes a pitch out of the strike zone, and takes it right back over David's head.
So here's Blackman, a walk, a deep drive to center, and a home run, a line drive to right. Somewhat of a free spirit. Here's Charlie Blackman. After he made the All-Star team in 2014, took a trip over to Europe, and he did not stay at all the good hotels. That's out of play. He stayed in hostels, not knowing where he would go next, so no reservations. Figured everything out on the fly. And he had a great time in Barcelona. Went to a soccer match there. Of course, Barcelona, you can have a good time. That's a great city.
People that I've talked to that have gone there said it's absolutely gorgeous.
It is. And the food's fantastic. I love Madrid, too. Madrid is great food there. We played in the Spanish Open up in Paul's near the French border, which you got to go through Barcelona to get there, and then we played in the Madrid Open. Terrific people. Nice, that boy, Omar. Keep it in front of you. Backpacked it around Europe.
I don't know.
No. Especially today. That's out of play. Unfortunate. Big gap in right center. And there's the base hit into center. They hit hard, but the two soft singles leading off here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Well, the last pitch illustrated why Blackmon is a 300 hitter, because that was a breaking ball away. He didn't fly open. He stayed right on it. Didn't hit it well, but he didn't have to, because he made good contact on a pitch that was a good 4 or 5 inches off the outside corner. So here comes Ricky. And he's taking the slow walk to the mound, which usually means that time to make a change. We'll have to see what he has in mind. Chris Beck was loosening up, and so Chris Beck will come in the game, and as he comes trotting in, we'll step out.
Host the pregame patio party this season, and with purchase you'll receive a game ticket and can enjoy an all-you-can-eat buffet and all-inclusive wine, beer, and Coke products. Now the patio opens 90 minutes prior to the game and closes 30 minutes after the start of the game. So to get your tickets, visit whitesox.com/group, and that's the Bertucci boys out there. They'll take care of you. Bobby Bruno and Handsome Anthony.
Our Hyundai call to the pen is Chris Beck, and he comes in and it's a jam. He's got runners at first and second, nobody out, on for the 32nd time. He's 1-0. His ERA a touch below 3.5. And he's got to deal with the heart of the order, trying to get out of this inning and keep it where it is. These Rockies, who had been scuffling scoring runs, are finding no problem scoring them tonight.
Well, Ricky's got a situation here where all hands on deck, because after the game tomorrow and then Sunday, All-Star break.
Get a lot of time for the arm to rest, relax, regenerate, and get ready for the second half.
You know, it's amazing too, the mindset of the pitchers today. is it just one extra day's rest, what it does to their mindset. Just one extra day. It doesn't seem like that much, but boy, it is huge to a lot of these guys.
Things have changed a bit, because it used to be, especially, okay, I'm not going to tell you it was better back then or worse or whatever. It just was different. And it used to be they would just hand you the ball, tell you it's your day, and if you don't take this start, well, it's going to be a couple weeks till we can get in again, and on a 1-year contract, well, you did it. And in fact, I was starting pitcher on that '73 White Sox when we had a 3-man rotation. They started out with Eddie Fisher because they wanted to get Wilbur as many starts as they could, and so the other conventional pitcher was Stan Bonson, and then they took Eddie Fisher down. I went in the rotation, and we were throwing every third day. So when they talk about short rest today, I just have to laugh, because every third day is a bit tough.
Well, they went with the 3-man rotation in '67.
Yeah, but they did it toward the end, I'm sure, as they were
did towards the end. They did, and besides that, on the off day, they threw like 3 or 4 minutes of BP.
That's good. That could wear you down a touch.
But you know, it's not these kids' fault at all, because this is the only thing they know. This is the only thing they know. This is what they grew up with. They grew up with this in college. They grew up with this in the minor leagues. One of these days, there's a chance, not in my lifetime, or even in your lifetime, though you're a lot younger, it's just somebody is going to have the courage to start, when they get these kids out of high school and college, to go back to a 4-man rotation. Now, before that happens, I think there will be a 6-man rotation before they go back to a 4.
Yeah, that 6-man rotation doesn't make a great deal of sense, but the way it's heading, you probably are right. I think a 4-man rotation, I think you get much better feel for it.
Yeah.
And if guys are going to only go 5 1/3, 6 innings most of the time, nothing wrong with a 4-man rotation. It gives you an extra guy out of your bullpen, and if you're going to go to that pen early, you might as well have another extra guy out there. Plus, if you take a look historically at the win totals of the number 5 starter, they're not much over 6 or 7 wins a year. So if you eliminate him and go with your top 4, you're usually in better shape.
Well, some general manager in some organizations is going to have courage enough to do that. And the first thing they're going to have to fight off are the agents.
Well, that is probably true.
LeMahieu. Make a good throw. Attaboy, get the return. Yes, nice. Attaboy, Jose. Took his time, made a perfect peg. Back him up, 2 down.
3-6-3 on the double play, a lot easier than 3-6-1, and Jose did a nice job, because that was a good solid throw to Tim Anderson. Hard hit ball, the throw is right on the money, and then Jose was able to get enough time to come back to the bag, locate it, and he's got him by plenty. As we talked about LeMahieu and the groin issue he's had, so he's not going to bust it down the line.
Well, Jose's first couple of months really struggled defensively.
He did.
And he took it upon himself to ask them to give him a lot of extra work, early extra work defensively. And I'll tell you what, he has trended way up since then.
A lot of guys in this game have a lot of pride in their performance. Nobody has more pride in their performance than Jose.
No, they don't.
I mean, he's one of those guys that he wants to excel in every aspect of the game. We know right now that hitting is well beyond what he's fielding, but he's fielded a lot better.
You better believe it. Only because he's worked at it.
Yep.
And he got the extra work. Joe McEwing's done really well with it.
Well, you got to respect the guy that will go out there and do everything he can on a daily basis to make himself better in every aspect of the game. And Jose does that. His work ethic is phenomenal, has been from the time he put on that White Sox uniform, and I'm sure it was that way in Cuba.
Arenado. Ball gets away.
That is that one's a bit of a, well, it would be very difficult for Omar. Very difficult for Omar to make that catch.
Yeah, but you got a pitcher running at third, so that's the reason.
Yeah, Marquez was not coming down. He would have scored easily. And
oh, yeah.
He's speaking to him now. He says, I'm pretty sure that Cole said, what, do you want him to toss in the stands before you go? But he's up by plenty in this one. He's up 7 runs.
Nolan Arenado. 1 for 3 with an RBI. They're up by 9 now.
That one was a bomb. And Arenado hits his 16th. He's driven in 66. I don't know how you lead the league in home runs and runs batted in. You look at that swing he just put on that high fastball. Ford home run replay. He just crushes this. That's just about every bit he can get, and he got it. That is way up there. You're talking about a man who last couple of years hit 42 and 41 home runs respectively. Drove in 130 and 133. Those are gigantic numbers.
Well, you may be looking at a future part owner of the Colorado Rockies.
They're going to have to give him a few bucks. And then some.
Yeah. A truckload. And you know, that's the funny thing and the great thing about, one of the great things about baseball is the guys, the cheapest player you get on your team is a guy who makes the most money if he earns it. That's the cheapest player you get on your team. What kills you are a lot of guys that are making 6, 7, 8 million because of arbitration that don't produce that much.
Well, if you're going to pay one player on that Colorado team, it would be the guy you're looking at, Nolan Arenado, because there's really not much he doesn't do to help you win a ball game on a nightly basis. And anytime you got a guy that picks it like that at third and can hit it like he can, that's a guy you want to keep around for a while. And the last thing that they want to do with him is allow him to get to that final year before his free agency.
Two. He gone. But a tremendous home run off the bat of Nolan Arenado. And this game is way out of shape. Every night, every device, watch every out-of-market regular season game live, plus get a free subscription to At Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply, so visit MLB.tv for details.
DJ LeMahieu was not running down the line particularly well, still experiencing the groin issue, and so Alexi Amarista comes in the ball game, and he will play second base. There is DJ. Big lead. Guy's had a groin problem. You might as well take him out, get him some rest. And they're hoping he's ready to play tomorrow night.
10-1. Yolmer takes ball 1. Yolmer has gone out deep to center. Got Frazier over to third, who had doubled to lead off. There's a chopper 2 hopper. Low throw, nice pick. Nice pick at first.
That's one of the only defensive problems with Story, and that is that he makes a lot of throws on the move. It's a lot like Tulowitzki, only not quite as dependable as Tulo was in this ballpark. This is an easy play because it comes up right at him, and he makes an off-balance throw, throws in the dirt, and Reynolds does a nice job of saving him an error.
Yeah, that's a terrible technique for that play.
Yeah, if you don't have to throw off balance or moving, you know, you got all the time in the world, and the ball just kicked up to you, let her high.
Nice little Bolingbrook bounce there. Gary Hanley. Roger Clare.
He making some notes on his lineup card.
Omar 1 for 2 with our lone RBI. Two and 2. First of 3. Tomorrow, Jose Quintana for us against Jeff Hoffman for them. That game will be over WGN. That's going to be a souvenir. And the final game before the All-Star break on Sunday, Carlos Rodon. Carlos just outstanding in his last start against southpaw Kyle Freeland. And that game right back here on CSN Chicago.
Freeland did not have a good outing last time. And Bud Black did something pretty interesting. He went out to talk with him because his body language wasn't good. And he told the infielders to stay back at their positions. He told the catcher, you stay back at your position. He had a conversation with Freeland on the mound, just him and his young left-hander. And he was talking to him about body language, how that can set the tone for the performance, what he wanted him to do. And, you know, Bud was a young left-hander at one point, and he realized it's not easy. Not easy for the youngsters here.
Well, Buddy at one time was known for being a Steve Carlton clone. Same kind of delivery. A little short on the stuff.
I was going to say, well, he wasn't that close stuff-wise, but he had a nice career.
Oh yeah,
Black did.
17 games he won one year. But he's so right, because hitters, don't you think for 1 minute, hitters don't notice. We talk about presence, and if bad body language out there, he's got no presence.
And that's what it was. But he wanted to let him know real early what was acceptable in his mind and what wasn't, and that was a good way to go about it. One that Freeland will never forget.
That's high into left field.
So we got a speed package for Adam Engel, who's got terrific speed. Couple extra steps and he beats the play. 30.8 feet per second. Pretty good. That opened the door for a pretty good inning.
Yeah, we got 3 runs out of that inning because of that. That one extra step. Adams gone deep to left and struck out.
Marquez is only averaged a little over 5 innings per start. So for him here in the 7th, this is a bonus for Bud Black and his bullpen. Because unlike our club, they did not have the off day. They played a 4-game series with Cincinnati. And the pen was used a bit.
That is going to be a base hit. And he throws it away. So it'll be a hit and an error. And Adam winds up on second.
First hit of the night, and you would certainly expect that that's how it would be scored. He's busting it down the line, and it is indeed a base hit as Marquez gets to it, but throws it away.
And here's Anderson. He's grounded hard, real hard to second, and he's grounded out a little softer to third in force play. Yap in left center. Stayed inside. That one a little too much. And the count evens at 1.
Dan Jennings loosening up. And see, that's how you can tell a quality producer, director, and all the folks in the truck. They could have run that speed package early. They could have run it in the 2nd when Adam came up, or in the 5th when he came up. But no, they held it for the 7th. And then he beats out a base hit.
They're awesome.
Kian Delashahi, Todd Benjaminson, Dave Ross. Great timing.
They're awesome. Gap in left center. That ball hit hard. Stretch. Stretch. He goes back and he looks up, and you can put it on the board. Yes. The live bat of Tim Anderson. He and Todd Steverson were working on that in batting practice. And boy, he has hit it hard twice tonight. Got that one up.
Our forward home run replay, and Tim absolutely blasts this one. Hits it 8 miles over a center field wall just to the right of center, and this ballpark cannot hold that one. And Marquez, a little unhappy with himself, decides to show that jack-in-the-box imitation.
And of course, with that home run, Alex Nelly's family, a generous donation to White Sox charities in loving memory of Ursula.
Steve Foster going out to have a word with him. And Willie Garcia is coming on to pinch hit as Tim Anderson hits his 8th, driving in runs 26 and 27, and that was a blast. So Willie at 253 steps in. First time tonight, the Colorado bullpen starts to stir.
There's a base hit. That a boy, Willie. He's 24 years old and he's got some talent.
Seven-run game. And 102nd pitch coming up.
Yeah, he's been pretty economical, but you framed it perfectly in about the third inning. There's a line shot, now dropped, now picked up, now thrown out. He got his breaking ball over later on in the game, but how about this over the center field fence, and it's a 10-3 game. So once-in-a-lifetime experiences, from White Sox games to amazing concerts and shows you just don't want to miss. So StubHub, your ticket out. StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of our Chicago White Sox.
Dan Jennings comes in the ball game, and he leads the pen in appearances by a wide margin, on for the 41st time. 3-1 ERA of 3.82. So he is the 5th of the Sox pitchers tonight. Willie Garcia stays in the game after his pinch base hit. He's in right field.
So here's Parra. It's 2 for 3. RBI single, infield single in the first, then a double and a run scored in the 5th. Quick little breaking pitch. 0-1 to count. And there's a Kansas City special.
That's 3 base hits for Parra. Just coming back off the DL, and they could really use him to get hot, because to balance their lineup they need one more left-hander that can be a difference maker in the middle of this lineup.
So here's Trevor Story. 2-run single in the first and a couple of punch outs. First pitch strike. Oh, 0-2 the count. Checking some scores for you. Mets beat the Cardinals 6-5 in St. Louis. Texas shuts out the Angels 10-0 down in Arlington. Cleveland thumped the Tigers 11-2. We certainly, our best wishes go out to Terry Francona. Has some surgery on his heart.
It's really interesting when you look at the report, because he had been in the hospital since Tuesday, taking a look at a heartbeat that was not rhythmic. And if it's done on somebody else, it's a procedure. If it's done on you, it's a surgery. There is no doubt that when you're having anything done to your heart, it seems to me it's a surgery, although they called it a procedure.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully it's just an ablation. Right to the bag and rack him up. 2 down. But yeah, anytime they got to go in there around there, it's
do anything.
Yeah.
Nice play by Yomer. He's got good hands and able to complete a 4-3 double play rather easily.
Other scores show Boston over Tampa Bay 8-3 down at Tropicana Field. Houston, they're now 59-28 as they beat Toronto 12-2 up at the Rogers Center.
That is a solid baseball team. Top to bottom, every aspect of the game.
Washington beats Atlanta 5-4 in D.C. That's in 10 innings. Padres over the Phillies 4-3 at Citizens Bank Ballpark. Cubs beat Pittsburgh 6-1 at Wrigley. Edwards Jr. 3-1 to win. Williams takes the loss there. Some scoring going on in that one. Rizzo with his 20th. Chris Bryant at 2. He has 18. Bryant 4 for 5, 4 RBIs. Yanks that one foul. Top of the third at AT&T, 5-0. Marlins leading the Giants. Giants really hurting, 34-53.
Yeah, that's one of the things that when you looked at the division, there's a whole lot of people that thought it would be San Francisco, Los Angeles, that would be it. But with pretty good young teams and the Diamondbacks getting A.J. Pollock back to go with a resurgent pitching staff, they're putting together a solid year. They're 52-34. They're 5.5 games in back of the Dodgers. The Dodgers have won 3. The Diamondbacks have lost 3 in a row. That's the separation between the two teams. But Colorado right there, they're hanging close, certainly.
Well, the Dodgers have caused some magic with those 2 youngsters. As there is a nice inning right there for Jennings, and we're into the 8th. We need a lot.
eClickLending.com. eClick is located in Chicagoland. It's rated A+ by the Better Business Bureau. eClick Lending. Boom! Your mortgage just happened. And we got a new pitcher in the ball game. It is Adam Ottavino. And his number is 0. On for the 35th time. 1-3 ERA at 6. It's not been the best year for Adam. But he inherits a ball game that's been dominated by the Colorado offense. So Marquez threw very well in 7 innings, 3 runs on 9 hits. But the key in this ballpark especially is no walks, a 0 in the walk column.
And he started off a little shaky with the breaking stuff.
Got better.
In about the 3rd inning, he started getting it over, and then it was, well, lights out. Yeah, he was impressive. Cabrera, 1 for 3, an infield single.
Antonio Senzatella in the pen. He was a starter earlier. Got a good arm. They're trying to limit his innings. He started 15 games, a 9-3 record.
That's softly hit into left field.
Here is our upcoming schedule. It's 2 more before the break. Tomorrow night, Sunday afternoon, and then after the break, the Mariners come into Chicago, followed by the Dodgers. Dodgers with some very talented youngsters. Seager and Bellinger. Bellinger tearing it up. Seager, a good one of the better young shortstops around in a time in baseball where shortstop has become the glamour position, and there's some great ones.
And they're young. The best crew I have ever seen at that position overall.
Well, look at Lindor and Correa. I mean, they're very young and 2 great shortstops.
Well, the guy who might be the best of all of them before it's over with is never talked about so much, and that's Bogarts.
Bogarts is wonderful.
Yeah, Big Papi told me, he said, Bogarts got a chance to become the best hitter in baseball.
He got hit in the hand in their last ball game and left the game, but they don't believe the x-rays were negative. They don't believe it's anything serious. But that ball club is solid top to bottom. But they can't pull away from the Yankees to this point.
Ted Girardi has really come into being the top echelon of managers. There's some, you want to look at it as that's a fair ball, and he's going to have to stick it in his pocket. He might be better served right there to let that one go. Meanwhile, 3rd hit for Jose. He'll take it.
We'll take another look as Arenado playing deep at 3rd. You never really know how it's going to spin, but he knows this field better than we do.
That's
and so
it.
in knowing the field and knowing which way the ball is going to go, he figured pick it up anyway.
That's it.
But don't throw it, because if you can't get a guy at first, only bad things can happen if you do throw it.
Well, if you can't get a guy at first, you ought to just let it go. Back him up. And that'll retire the side. We go to the bottom of the 8th. 10-3. Happy birthday, buddy. And
way to go,
many
Bill.
more.
Congrats for making it this far.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you one thing. Bill's had a few problems with that ticker, too. Knock on wood,
he's hanging in there. Looks terrific.
Oh, yeah, he does.
Of course,
he's always looked
standing next to our Chuck all the time, so that'll help things.
Well, it's tough, you know, for Bill to be sitting next to the great one.
Yeah, well, especially a guy that records so many of the updates.
Walters. He's 0 for 3. Just off the corner.
The appeal down, and Jim Wolf says nope, didn't go.
Milwaukee leading the Yankees 9-4.
They were losing that one early. They've come back, and boy, that's a team having a surprisingly good year. They came in leading the division by 4.5 over the Cubs.
What would you have said before the season started if in July that the Brewers were going to be buyers?
No, I couldn't have envisioned that in spring training.
Me either.
But they are, and they will be.
Here you go. We're getting back those managers. If you look around, we probably got right now more real good managers in the big leagues than we've had in quite some time. There are some good managers here now. Boy, a few years ago, you could count them on one hand.
Not anymore. And Pat Beleka comes on. He had a big game against Cincinnati. He got a start. Great nickname, Patty Barrels. That's his nickname, and he swings it pretty well.
Put a good pass on that one. Straight back.
Hit an opposite field home run against Cincinnati and had 3 hits in that ball game. The game that the Rockies were able to defeat them, and they split the series 2-2.
Jeff Bridich. Never heard of him.
Bridich. 3rd year as a general manager. Yeah.
Never heard of him.
Done a nice job.
Oh, you better believe it.
A nice job.
He looks like he's 20 years old, 19 or 20 years old. He's 39. Yeah, he's done a terrific job.
Well, it's starting to develop some very good young arms. You know, John Gray was drafted in that same draft as Chris Bryant and Mark Appel, and Gray was the pick behind Bryant. He was the 3rd pick. There he is, the author of the 467-foot home run.
Beleka. 2-2. I'll tell you one thing, if you're a GM and you're right half the time, you are a good one.
Half the time. Some want to be right 1/3 of the time.
I'm telling you, if you were half the time, you were outstanding. Looks like Bridich has been at least half the time right.
Well, it's one thing. I mean, you know, you're going to make some deals, and obviously you're going to depend on your scouts. But you really have to have strong development people, because it saves you a lot of money if you do.
Well, the name of the game is he gone.
Sunday, the Sox close out the weekend series against the Rockies with Carlos Rodon on the mound. Coverage begins at 1:30 with White Sox pregame live on CSN, or stream the game live on the NBC Sports app or at csnchicago.com.
Well, the name of the game in baseball is, and always will be, talent evaluation.
And it really helps to know your system better than anybody else does. And a lot of people for years didn't scout their systems near as much as they scouted other people's systems.
Well, sometimes though, on the other side of that page, Tony, is you talk to some people about their system, and I mean, it's crazy what they're going to say, because everybody is a future Hall of Famer.
That's true also. Yeah, if you're looking for evaluation.
No, you don't want to go there.
I remember having lots of conversations with Chuck Tanner when I was broadcasting. He was managing various teams, and I'd go down and ask him about his team, and he'd tell me, well, this guy's a star, and this guy, he's not a star yet, but he's going to be a star. This guy's terrific. This guy is just outstanding. Boy, he's a great young talent. He goes down his team, and I said, well, why in last place?
That was Sparky Anderson.
Everybody's great.
Yeah, Torey Lavallo in Cooperstown when he first came up. Yeah, sometimes you don't want to. That's the last. The best way to find out is, first of all, know the scouts, and then trust the ones that you know, because they will give you some good information.
Dick Williams' son is at the ballpark today. Speaking of scouts,
he's a good one.
Scouts for Atlanta.
He's a good one.
Yeah, he's been around a long time. I know you thought the world of his father. 6 years ago today, Dick passed away.
He was a tough man, and he was a tough guy to play for, but he was the best overall. He was the best overall manager I ever played for winning. 4 times he took teams to the World Series. He won half of them. That's 4 World Series. That's pretty stout. Oh, that a boy. And he throws it away. So that'll be a base hit.
Jose looked like he might have. No, he's fine. I thought he might have hurt himself on that stretch. So first of all, Dan Jennings probably should have had that one, and then this throw is off the mark. And Jose had locked himself in. That was something he was doing early in the season. Hasn't done it a lot lately, and that's taking that stretch to lock himself in. You see the premature jump by Jennings, and Jose, he was getting to the bag with his momentum going to his left. The throw was to his right. Couldn't get there in time, and it is a base hit.
Yeah, it should be, albeit he should have had it. But the smartest guy I ever played for was Alvin Dark, as far as knowing the game.
I think he's the one who took over for Dick Williams when Charlie fired him after winning the World Series 2 times in a row.
He took over for him. But Dick was, as I said, he was tough to play for. I know one thing: you better bust your behind. If you didn't, you weren't going to be in there very long.
Nice stop as that one drifts away, but no advancement.
You know how we talk about Ozzie was instrumental in 05 winning that World Championship. Even with Yastrzemski, who won the Triple Crown that year, without some of Dick's managing and some of his moves, we don't win it, because we didn't have the best talent. We had Yastrzemski, of course, but the Twins had the best talent. Detroit was second. We were third, and then the White Sox had the best pitching, but they couldn't score runs. Can't get it. Amarista.
Well, that's where the good managers really love to be, because 1 game, 2 games is going to separate all of those teams when it comes down, and managerial moves, whether they're on the money or not, are going to usually make the difference in a race that close.
Well, you know what good managers do? It's like they're doing down in Houston now. Pinella did this. He was great at this. And there's a base hit. Good managers don't want to manage. They want to get their team on a roll and then get the heck out of the way and let them play.
If they can.
They don't want to micromanage every pitch, every out, everything. They want. Here comes Ricky. They just want to get the guys on a roll. I guarantee that's what they're doing down in Houston. Let them play. They're going to probably go out and win them.
Well, that's going to be it for Dan Jennings. He'll leave. And David Robertson, rejoining the team after the birth of his daughter, comes in and will step out. Miller time brought to you by Miller Lite, and here's our Miller moment, and it is the long ball off the bat of Nolan Arenado, who hit over 40 home runs the last 2 years, on his way to trying to do it again. That's his 16th. That was a blast, putting 2 more up on the board, and as fate would have it, here's Nolan Arenado, and he's going to face David Robertson, our Hyundai call to the pen. So David comes on. He's 4-2. His ERA an even 3. And he'll have to retire Arenado to get out of this inning.
Yeah, if he was going to get just one hitter of work, this was not the guy of choice. Nolan's dad was Cuban and his mom was Puerto Rican. Grew up in California. Takes first pitch strike. That's going to score a pair. And he now has 4 RBIs. Check that. He has 5 RBIs.
Big night for Nolan Arenado. He will end at a triple shy of the cycle. 28th double. Yikes.
Well, you know, it's very seldom you see a guy 27 years old in his case, and then you see a guy in Angel uniform, Mike Trout, at his age, Bryce Harper at his age. You very seldom see these guys already becoming somewhat of a legend.
Boy, all those guys play defense as well as swing the bat.
Well, that's why they're becoming a legend.
Yeah, it's the young players coming into the game nowadays are so talented in just about each and every aspect of the game. It's a lot different than it was. They're bigger, stronger, faster, and quicker than ever. That goes without saying, but the talent is phenomenal. Where do you think the bidding goes on Bryce Harper?
Well, I can see that where it's going to go for him, being a position player. I can't see it going that high, and this guy is the best in the game, Kershaw. I can't see it going that high for a pitcher. I mean, to me, to sign a pitcher to what is being guesstimated at 300
million.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's insane. It's insane. Now, position player, different story.
Well, look at what Stanton signed for.
Where'd he go? 325 or 340?
Yeah, 325, 13-year contract, and nice article in the paper about the Marlins and the sale of that team and the obligation they have down the road. Deferred money. It's the biggest in baseball, and obviously Giancarlo Stanton's money owed to him is the biggest part of that.
That's a wild pitch. Yeah, it's just hard to, if you get a guy who's going to play 140, 145 games for you, maybe 150 in some cases, versus a guy who's going to get 31 or 32 starts. Do the math.
Well, plus, you know, as we know, we've seen lots of pitchers being injured, and when you're talking about a 12-year obligation.
Just only you were there. You've been there and done it. To me, the most perilous, precarious position in sports is a major league pitcher or a pitcher.
Every pitch, every time you throw every pitch, your career is hanging there by a thread, and if you have something that gives way, sometimes that's it. I remember years ago there was a pitcher who was 13-2 at the All-Star break. His name was Wayne Simpson from Cincinnati. And dominated everybody. Threw a pitch after the All-Star break. Never could pitch again. I mean, that was it. Mark Fidrich, another one of more recent vintage. A couple of great years. He hurt himself. Never could come back.
Heaven forbid you're going to draft a high school pitcher first.
Well, the odds of that, for every Dwight Gooden you get, there's 1,000 that wash out.
So, out and around that. Parra. 3 for 4. RBI and a run scored. 12-3. Colorado. Yelmo will take care of him. And that'll retire the side. So we'll go to the 9th. As I say, we'll go to the 9th.
It's been all Colorado. 12 runs on 17 hits as they lead by 9, and we've got a new pitcher in the ball game. It's Antonio Senzatella, man who has started 15 games. This is his 18th appearance. There you look at the numbers, and in an effort to keep those innings manageable, they have put him in the bullpen, and he'll work out of there for a bit.
Yolmer takes ball 1.
Antonio is 22 years old. You can understand where they would want to limit his innings. He did get up to 154 innings a couple of years ago pitching for Modesto, but he was on a pace to get close to 200 innings, and they don't want a 22-year-old to have that kind of workload early in his career.
Three and 0 the count. So the leadoff man aboard.
We'll take a look at the matchups. Jose Quintana against Jeff Hoffman. That's a really good matchup. That's tomorrow night over WGN. Then right back here on CSN on Sunday for the finale before the All-Star break, Carlos Rodon and Kyle Freeland. We're going to see all the good young arms for these Colorado Rockies. It's 5 straight bad ones from Senzatella.
There's one.
For Antonio, it's not easy to start working out of the bullpen, except for one appearance in his entire career, which is granted not been that long, starting in 2012. He'd never worked out of the bullpen before.
Hang loose over there, Adam. And also the bat boy. Get through, it will. Now Yolmer's going to pull up. So the second hit now for Omar. He's 2 for 4.
Amarista can't get to it. It shows you that it's not hit at a guy. He's got some problems. That ball was hit maybe, what, 8 feet to his left and didn't come close to keeping it in the infield.
It's quick.
It is that.
So here's Adam. Adams 1 for 3. He went out deep to left, struck out, and then had a single and came around to score on the 2-run homer by Anderson over the center field fence. And the count 0-2.
Nice stop by Walters. He's had enough of the necklace, or at least the location of the necklace.
$38,386. They have seen a lot of action from their offense.
A team that's been having lots of problems scoring runs. They certainly didn't look like it tonight.
No.
They started out with 4 in the first, 2 in the second, and it just went downhill from there.
Ooh, just foul. Out and around it, yanks it. The count hangs at 1-2. Good job. As long as that runner can see it, he's going to be a little hesitant. (12-2) Rockies. Check that. 12-3. We were here 3 years ago, and I got to tell you, just walking around the ballpark a little bit prior to the game, I commented on it then. They have some of the nicest people working here. I mean, they are really terrific. Sox packed. And here comes Anderson. Here's what he did last time up.
This was a blast. His 8th, giving him 27 driven in. So Foster out to the mound to talk to a young guy who probably feels a lot more comfortable as a starter than as a reliever, and it's completely different because as a starter you have your routine, you know exactly what you're going to do. It takes you 20 minutes, let's say, to loosen up. You know when you're going to go out there, and it's just different. That pattern, that routine for young pitchers especially, is their comfort zone. You take them out of that, put them in the pen for the first time in his career, it's not as easy.
You brought up a word there that's not used near enough, in my opinion, in baseball, and that's routine. You've got to have a routine. You just can't be helter-skelter. You just can't open up the day. You got to have that routine. Some of the most superstitious athletes you've ever seen are baseball players.
No question.
You know,
yeah.
And that's part of Ted Williams. Hawk, you got to take a nap every day. He got me in that routine. And to this day, as you know, I take a nap every day.
Yeah, but for day games, it's a little tough.
Well, yeah.
It's called sleep.
I know, you can't do it for day games, but on night games, and he took one every day, every night game. You get in that routine. It gives you the comfort zone. A little sense of control.
I think, and I was told by somebody who wasn't a baseball person said, "You are too inconsistent. You need more consistency." And the advice was to get a pattern, to get a routine, to make 3 or 4 or 5, whatever it takes, steps, to associate then with going out and having a good performance. So it's like dominoes. You know, you can line up 5 miles of dominoes. If they're all in perfect position, you would just have to tap the first one. They all fall. One out of position, it stops. Same thing with a routine. If you deviate, you have some problems normally.
So here's Willie.
Kevin Smith ready to get in at bat.
Willie hitting the 7th inning, single sharply in the hole between third and short. Yeah, but you got to have a routine. You got to have some place to go mentally, and that's what you do. You call in that routine. One and one. Pitch just had a outside edge or the outside corner. Going to take the out, and it's a 10-4 ball game.
Productive night for Willie. He comes on as a pinch hitter, gets a base hit, drives home a run. And Marista looking at it saying, look, I'll take the out, get to 1 out away, and that one just moves it to an 8-run game.
So here's Kev. And this ball game is over. So Steve, not a whole bunch to it. They jumped on us early and didn't stop.
Yeah, all Rockies tonight, and you put this one away. Club was never in it. Better luck tomorrow night, and we will see you then.
There you go. All right. So for my partner Stoney, Steve Stone, our producer Keon Dolashahi, our director Todd Benjaminson, our associate producer Dave Ross, our very fine technical manager Mark Harper, and also Mindy Gorman, Steve Roy, Doug Klin, also the executive producer Jim Corno Jr. This is a Hawk so long. Coming up next is Subaru Postgame Live. You've been watching Chicago White Sox baseball on CSN Chicago.